Testing. Sounds good. You ready, Twin?
Ready.
Okay, so we're pre-recording this one, but I'm actually scheduling it to go live on Tuesday next week. So you're hearing us from the past.
Hello, what's it like over there?
We're in Disney World right now.
Having fun.
Okay, so we just filmed the last podcast, which was great, on reframing and what was that?
Sales.
Sales.
Sales with Corey.
Oh yeah, Corey's new segment. Okay, great. We scrapped that one in 2 seconds since we're re-recording. But this week is next week. But just kind of go through. Tell me what if the group had a mission statement, what would it be?
A mission statement for Sugar Cookie Marketing Group is to take people from just being bakers making nothing to actual businesses making money, growing, and becoming successful bakeries. I feel like that's everyone's goal. Mostly.
Right. If you're not, you're crazy to just put in all this work. But the goal of what we talk about in the group is really just putting a strategy behind the things we do. Mm-hmm. Never would I ever recommend for somebody to just do something because somebody else is doing it. Nor would I ever recommend just listening to us and putting it into practice without asking if Corey is wrong and Heather's always right. Why would that
Why
be?
is it?
But the thing is to really just be intentional. And I know I say that a lot in the podcast. Be intentional because you want to make sure that your step forward is sure-footed. Because a lot of times we think movement is good, but a lot of that movement is from side to side, backwards, repetitive.
Yeah.
Good movement, forward movement is good. Mm-hmm. And that comes because you made the plan, you weighed your options, and this was the best step forward.
Mm-hmm. So let me run you through what this podcast will consist of.
Pancake.
The pancake. Darn it. This will consist of just a few parts. We have marketing minutes is first, and it's usually something dealing with marketing, how to move your business using marketing. Then we have the business with baking, and that's usually takes off the marketing hat, puts on the business hat, more theory, something for you to munch on as we go. Then we have voicemails, which is our favorite part because we get to hear from you. Then we have group stuff, if we have group stuff. And then lastly, we have Twinterest. And lastly, sponsors.
Okay, great. I like it. So in the marketing minutes, I want to talk about something that is really cool to me because we see it so often, but we don't realize it is happening. It's called anchor pricing. Have you heard of it? Yes, you have, because we talk about it all the time. But the concept of anchor pricing is this. Corey, I'm selling these AirPods next to me.
Okay.
I was going to sell them for $125, but for you, $100.
What a steal. I'm making $25 on this.
Do you know how much AirPods go for now?
Not a clue.
How much do you think mine would go for?
100.
For you.
100.
Because you think you got a deal, because you you anchored yourself to $125. Now if I said, hey, Corey, the AirPods that I have sell for $250 right now, but for you, they're $100.
Oh, that's a steal.
Right. Now, if I said to the next guy, okay, AirPods usually go for $250, but for you, $150.
They're still going to think it's a steal.
Because we've anchored ourselves to the first price. So it's not often, it is the sole reason why you'll see something with a price that's crossed out and then you'll see a lower price. Because you don't know what the price was until you saw the first price. Then you said, oh, that's what the going rate for that thing is. Then you saw the slash through it and you saw a smaller number. So it appears to you that you're getting a deal because it was this price. But for me right now, slash through, it's this cheaper price.
For anyone who don't get it wrong, Heather did sell me her Bose headphones. Uh-huh. And she did the same thing on
Here's what's so funny. So I had a friend who had 50% off at Bose because they work there. So the Bose headphones were an ungodly $400. I got them for $200. Turned around and said, Corey, if you went to the store right now and bought these hardly used, I really used them 3 times. Amazing Bose headphones, they'd be $400. But for you, I'll give them to you for $175. Only because you knew that I paid $200. Otherwise, I would have said $200. But the concept being is Corey anchored her price would be anchored to the Bose store, $400.
Right.
$200 is, wow, they are 50% off. I save $200 and this limited. And if you don't want to buy them, I'm going to list them on Facebook Marketplace.
She used that last one, guys. So I bought it and I've worn it once.
And she has. I'm about to buy it back for $150. But that's 2 things. So we did what's the limited time offer? Yeah, urgency, and then I did anchoring.
And it was scarcity because she only had one.
I only had one. So Corey, you bought from me.
I did, and I didn't want headphones before that day. I obviously don't use them after that
But
day.
Corey's
I have
big
some
thing
headphones.
is getting sales, deals.
I am a deal getter. So if you can give me a comparison price.
And it doesn't matter if it's truly a deal. Corey just wants to feel like she got a deal. So a lot of times in business, we're like, well, I'm going to cut them a deal. They don't want you to lose money. They just want to feel like they got money extra that they didn't have to spend.
I wanted to bring this up. I was at Hobby Lobby because that's where I go to.
Oh, baby, low baby.
Someone called it Ho Baby Low Baby. No, that's all we call it. But I was at Ho Baby Low Baby. And on their furniture displays as you're walking in, it says, as always, 30% off.
So it's always 30% off.
But people are like, oh my goodness, I got to get it. It's 30% off. No, it's always 30% off.
As
and
always.
I swear, Ho Baby Low Baby is not losing
I guarantee
money on their
you,
furniture.
even on clearance, I think some people think clearance means we just have to free the floor space. No, they could turn around and sell it to a Ross if they wanted
Yeah.
to. Clearance means that we need you to pay us money to move this out of the building.
Yeah, but they're not going to lose money. You would be so just taken aback by the upcharge on a simple shirt you'd find at Walmart. How much it costs them versus how much it's costing you.
And it's so the psychological mind hoops we have to jump through to. So if I could go get a shirt at Walmart for $5, but then I turn around and go to, let's say, I like White House Black Market. It's a local, but their jacket is $250, which is insane. But in my mind, instead of saying, why are you guys overcharging on jackets? I'm like, well, it must be nicer. It must be sourced better. It must be a better material. It will last longer.
And now White House Black Market loves to sell a coupon in the mail that if you spend $100, you get like 25 off. Heather's a sure made deal.
Well, yeah, because I already fell in love with 100 and now anchored to $250. I'm about to save
Bada
a
bing,
bunch
bada
of
boom,
money.
she's got a jacket.
And I know it almost feels evil selling sometimes because we're like, how can we take the money from their pockets willingly, but hold them up at gunpoint, but they don't realize there's a gun at their heads and then they spend it. But that is just, it's how everything is sold.
Yeah. And the thing is, if I can leave a sale and you can, as a business owner, leave a sale and we're both happy, then we both have won.
Right. There's no thievery. There's just better marketing strategies and price anchoring is one of those.
And I will have to say, back when I sold cars, I know I talked about
I was just
last
going to
time.
say MSRP.
Yeah, you have that. And they always put the MSRP on there of what the car would sell for.
MSRP is manufacturer's suggested retail price. That number means nothing other than a sales tactic is headed your way.
It is a price point. So when you walk to that Beamer on the lot, I can say, I can do you one better.
I can give you a discount based off the manufacturer's suggested retail price. That price does not actually exist. But why would they stick it to every single car? Why would they show their hand on the production cost of every car?
Because they want to lose money on it when you
They're donating Fords and Toyotas.
I can just absolutely guarantee you that a dealership is not going to lose money. No matter if you go home and,
if you spend 13 hours arguing with them, they're still going to they may not just make a
as
killing.
much money, but
They
they're not
will make
losing money.
Yeah, nobody who's truly a good business person will ever lose money.
And you know why? Because the ones that do are out of business.
Oh, great point. So when you go to get a car, right? So not a lot of us are in the car buying market, and maybe every 5 to 10 years.
They love that about people, is you only buy them once, maybe every 10 years.
So, and then you look at that big window sticker, and it has every option the car has on it and the price associated with the option. Then at the end, this big old circle saying, here's what it's worth. You saw all the numbers we added together. Here's the MSRP. And then the sales guy says, yeah, but we're running a special right now. I mean, any other day it's $34,972 you see on the sticker here. But if you buy it now with your trade-in, with this, but I mean, it's Memorial Day weekend sale, so I can't extend it.
Yeah.
I can give you $5,000 off the sticker. The sticker is merely an anchor.
It is.
Nobody who should be buying a car is going to walk in and pay sticker. If they do, I guarantee you that the sales team is surprised.
I would say that there would be a party after that sale
We
in
got
the break room.
So the thing is, when you go into the dealership, it's not like the dealership's like, hey, we're just so honest that we want to show you what we should be charging you, but we'll take an L here. And we're going to take a loss on this one for
No
you.
every dealership knows that when you walk in, someone's going to try to haggle the price.
Absolutely. And if you don't, oh my goodness, I have some snake
Please
oil
be
to sell you.
But at that price haggling, it's expected. That's why they post the price there so you can haggle from that price on downward. And they're not going to price it to the point where if it went $1 lower, they would be losing money. That's just, it's not how it works. It's not how any of this.
Yeah, it's not how this works. It's not how any of this works.
That's honestly my favorite commercial.
All right. So MSRP is a price anchor to get us to fall in love with a price that doesn't actually truly exist. But we as a consumer are conditioned to see a price, to see a number, to see a discounted number and feel like that is savings. However, it is not. If you went to the dealership and you took a Sharpie over every MSRP number, that would be the best thing you could psychologically do to truly wheel and deal about that car. But with the wheeling and dealing, you're saying CarMax, no haggle pricing. Are they losing money?
They are not losing money. They are factoring in every hand that touches that vehicle, plus what they need to make as a business is factored in that car by also giving you a fair price. So they're taking into account your deal that you want to get, plus their money that they have to make, and giving you a price that's no haggle right out the door. This is what you're going to pay.
Guess that's not unfair to you. If you want to make the most on a car, private sale, because you're wearing all the hats, so you get all the commission. You get all the work. You wash the car, you clean the car, you photograph the car, you wheel and deal, you took somebody out. You're wearing so many hats, so you get more profit. Now, CarMax is taking off a lot of that stress on you, and because there's no haggle pricing, they're guaranteed their profit.
Yes.
Now, with the dealership who has that margin of wheeling and dealing, they're priced so over CarMax.
So you can almost end up at the CarMax price and still be happy at the end of the day.
Yeah, there are people who prefer to wheel and deal, and they feel like that gets them a deal because they fought for it. And there's people who prefer not to, who just say, hey, you make your cut, I'll make mine. In the end, even a private sale, we all make our cut.
I think what's hilarious is when people are like, I literally stole this car from the dealership. They lost money on it.
I guarantee you the finance guy in the back of the dealership laughed all the way to the bank regardless.
Absolutely. One time someone asked me, I said, the car cannot go cheaper than this. And he said, what if I offered $1 less?
Did you work at CarMax?
Yeah.
He said, no. Here's $1. Please buy it.
But it's just saying that the dealership is not going to lose. If the dealership lost on every car, the dealership would no longer be with us. It would be out of business.
And the dealership isn't getting one over on you. If you walked in and didn't haggle, yes, one would be getting over on you because they're priced for you to haggle, right? In a true dealership. But just because the dealership made its cut doesn't mean that it, stole from you. Everyone needs to make a profit. At a dealership, though, how much profit are they going to make is up to you.
Exactly. And, the sales guy knows how much commission is on each car that he's going to sell. They know how much the dealership needs to make. So if the sales guy wants to come off a little bit of his own commission to make the sale, he can do that. But no one's going to lose money at the end of the day.
Right. Our cousin wanted a truck. So, it was the COVID week, too. And they said that cars were sitting on the lots, just, whatever cars do on the lots.
Rotting away.
Yeah. And I called the dealership for him and we offered this ungodly price. It was so low, it was almost offensive. The guy laughed. And I was like, dude, yeah, you just got to shoot your shot, right? But he never called back because at that point, there's no profit for them. There's no incentive for them to work with me.
You are not their
I was
ideal
too far off of their thing. And yeah, you know what? Guess what? I stole the car. No, just kidding. Jason went back and bought a car for much more applicable, did the wheeling and dealing, and everyone got their piece of the pie.
Right. So bring that back to baking for us.
That's a great one. I should have drawn that back to bacon, right?
That's okay.
Anyways, that's why you should got a card today. In the group last night, actually, a lady had a great question. She said, hey, somebody wanted to place an order for blank cookies, which are, if you're new to blank cookies like I am, it's just the cookie with white icing.
Yeah.
Just as basic
You're
as you
literally
get.
trying to get icing into your face by way
Right.
of a
She
cookie.
just didn't want to say it out loud. She wanted to use the cookie as a chip and the icing as salsa and get them in her mouth.
Get it in my face.
So the lady said, yeah, I actually don't want any design. If it was a circle, that would be fine. I'm just hungry and I like the taste. Great. Okay, that's awesome. But it does save the baker, OP. It saved her original poster. It saved her time and effort. So she said, I feel like I should do half off.
Ooh.
Her husband said, but what would the twins say? So I said, what did the husband think that the twins would say? Because I didn't want to show my hand if we didn't agree. The husband said that she shouldn't do half off. She should only discount it marginally. And I got to agree with that. So here's what I told her. She priced at $45 a dozen. I'd say, tell your girl, hey, oh my goodness, you're the first person who just ordered my cookies because you love the taste. I absolutely love that. That is so fun. But you know what? You do save me a little bit of time. So I can knock off the price down to 40, but in the added benefit, because it saves me so much time, you get the freshest cookie. So it'll be even better than you've ever thought it could be.
I see what you did there.
Right. We made her feel unique and special, which is great. Everyone likes that.
She's like, aren't your cookies crappy if you're the only person that's ever ordered just
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people know that they could do that. I don't think a lot of people market like buy my blanks.
I want to be buy my blanks. I don't want to design them up.
Yeah. So instead of coming in at 50% off, because we're trying to cut her deal, no, we're still a business. And she, the girl asked, I don't even know that the girl asked, she just asked for a price.
Oh, that's
but we're anchoring it to, well, my dozen's usually 45, but because you're, going easy, we can do it for 40.
Absolutely.
Is OP still making a huge margin, even in saving time? Yeah, she's making margin just on the fact that she doesn't have to account for so much time.
Yeah, there's no back and forth on talking about design. There's no mixing a ton of
There's no
icings.
custom cutters. This is the best sale OP could make, but that doesn't mean that she should come in at the same percent margin of a custom dozen.
Right, I agree.
Right. So I said, and then we added value back in saying, hey, it's also really fresh.
Yeah.
And that's still saying, hey, you're still getting more for less.
Like a win-win-win. Win.
Win.
A lot of wins.
So that's my thing on price anchoring. If you walk into a place and you see a price and you see it slashed through, that's typically them price anchoring. And we're conditioned to it. We can't help it.
It will work on me 100% of the time.
100% of the time. 100% off. We're 50% off 100% of the time.
It's
a lot, but I would like to challenge people, if we're doing these challenges at the end, is everywhere you go today, if you can look to see where people are price anchoring you.
I think you'll become more aware of it and you can see it and you can be like, yeah, see what they're doing there. I see the strategy behind it.
And ask yourself why you're buying it. Am I buying it because I wanted it before I saw the price anchor? Or am I buying it because of the price anchor? I'm buying it because the price anchor, give it to me.
That's going to be me 1,000%.
Yeah, and price anchoring isn't bad. It's a strategy. But the price anchoring, I know Corey, in the group, people say, the twins don't like discounting. I actually love discounting, but you have to have such a high profit margin to be able to start discounting.
Yeah, you can't lose. You cannot be losing money as a business.
Didn't you go to Hobby Lobby?
I went to, what is the name we saw?
Oh Baby, Low Baby.
Oh Baby, Low Baby.
On a TikTok, call it Whole Baby, Low Baby, and I can't not see that anymore.
So now that's the only thing we call it. So I did go to Whole Baby, Low Baby the other day, and on their furniture, it's got their normal sticker, and then there's this yellow sticker on it, and it's like slashed out normal sticker, and the yellow sticker says, as always, 30% off.
That's so funny. But we can't not see the 30% off. We cannot help but say, hey, so do you think Whole Baby, Low Baby is losing money on the furniture?
Not.
I mean, it's 30% off, Corey. It must be 30% off their cost of production.
I don't even need a kitchen table, but you should have been there when my mind was trying.
Well, I feel like I could put this under the kitchen table I already have.
But I saw that and it really did. I was like, I could get that. But no, Court, it even says, as always, 30% off.
They didn't have urgency. They reassured you. We're always here, baby girl. 30% off. Oh, baby, Low Baby.
So, I mean, that was great anchor pricing plus a discount. You feel like you were getting a sale, but they're literally, if they just priced it 30% lower, they probably wouldn't be moved.
What if they priced it 30% lower but didn't tell you that? All it was a price.
It would not move furniture as fast as they do. Yeah.
Right. So, but is Whole Baby, Low Baby losing money?
Whole Baby, Low Baby's not losing a dime.
No, Whole Baby, Low Baby is still making a profit on a discount. People see clearance.
Can I just say, I think you're trying to say it as many times.
Whole Baby, Low Baby.
You said it 5 times in 4 seconds.
Whole Baby, Low Baby. They're not losing on clearance. Clearance is essentially like, hey, we're still making a profit here, but now we don't want to move it out the store. Can you move it into your car
Can you help us?
for 70%?
All right. They're still not making. If we knew how much a t-shirt at Walmart actually costs to make versus what they sell it for, our minds would explode. Mm-hmm. It just would. So they're never losing money.
And that is fair because we don't want to lose money. So neither should any of these stores, but you just need to conscientiously understand that, hey, this may be discounted for me today. Tomorrow it could be 30% higher. Not at Whole Baby, Low Baby, where it's always, as always. But in another store, it could be higher. However, they're using sales tactics on me. So am I purchasing this because I wanted it or because I feel that the sense of urgency that you're using scarcity? Do I feel like this is the only left, limited supply? Is that what I'm responding to? And then make your decision appropriately.
And from that decision, see what works on you. Think about the things that work on you and then apply it to your own business.
Right. So, and then say, what works on me is, if that works on your ideal client, you're going to find clients like you. Because there's some clients like Corey, you love a deal.
Give it to me.
And then our older sister loves spending the most money possible for any object.
Give it to her.
You know, she feels like
there's value in a higher price point.
Right. So she will not buy a knockoff. It's crazy. You know, iPads come, you have to buy the cover, like the screen protector.
Yes.
It's called, so there's a brand called Paperweight or Paperlike or something like that. And it feels like paper. However, Amazon sells a knockoff. Ashley and I were talking about it. I was like, oh yeah, did you get it from Amazon? She's like, well, I mean, the real guys, they have this like texture and the reason why it sticks. And I was like, oh yeah, wow, yeah. That's just two different types of people. So if I wanted to sell to Ashley's, I need to understand the way the Ashley brain works.
The value in pricing. The value in more expensive pricing.
And if I want to get a bunch of Corys, I'm going to say, as always, 30% off on a price that's probably not 30% off or whatever MSRP is.
And you could actually honestly be charging both Ashley and I $55 a dozen.
How you sell it to them. So I'd sell it to Corey. If I want to sell you 55 a dozen, I would say, hey, it was 75 a dozen.
Oh, girls. Yes.
Limited 2 spots left.
Oh my goodness, make me number one.
Right. And to Ashley, I would say, what was the price, 55 a dozen? I'd say 55 a dozen, custom ingredients, sourced locally, made and baked with love and affection, a perfect gift for your mom. Make something unique. Give her something that makes her cry.
You make me sound so cheap.
Yeah, well, we're cheap. You and I are cheap. Ashley is not cheap. But you see, so it's your sales message, how you kind of...
Yeah, and you can determine your ideal client and how they want to be spoken to, and then you can create a strategy around that and talk to them in the way they want to be talked to.
Yeah, I just want to say a caveat. Corey and I were filming this, and I looked down, and it wasn't recording halfway through. So if anything sounds like we repeated it...
the whole baby lovey thing.
I don't know. I don't know if this podcast sounds repetitive. That's because it is.
We will not have to air it if they have done the same thing 3 times.
We really wanted to get some points across multiple times. Anyway,
Okay.
so Corey,
I wanted to go in. We actually had email in, which is rare, but I enjoy them when we do because I can read them on my phone, talking about the value in packaging. This email said that, some of our clients, when they show up to the door, she'll just put them in an Amazon box. Even they're perfectly done cookies. She just puts them in an Amazon box. It's economical. Her clients still get the valued cookies, but how much does packaging matter to clients? In my personal opinion, you can run it however you want, it is not up to my clients to decide that for my business. When you have a business, you hopefully have a brand. If you're selling a luxury item, hopefully that brand feels expensive. And that runs from the very first time you see a post about me where someone tags me and you stalk me, all the way to where I hand that box to your beautiful hands and you take those cookies from me. So packaging to me is super valuable. It explains my brand. Heather loves Ray-Bans. Ray-Ban sunglasses.
give me some glasses.
She wants to sit on them and then rebuy the ones she's out.
I've had probably 7 Ray-Bans. I think the average between 100 to 150. So you do the math.
So tell me, what draws you to Ray-Bans?
I can say a bunch of lies that make me sound like a better person, but the branding.
The branding.
Yeah.
So the branding comes from their fancy commercials, their nice online ads. The product itself is nice.
Tom Cruise is my true answer.
there you go. Heather's obsessed with Tom Cruise, if you didn't know. But when they get that case is nice.
Which the case is Ray-Ban, that color, that leather, like, of course it's not leather anymore, but like that branding really makes it nice. So, I have a great example for you on packaging.
Please.
Mascaras.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so Corey and I, let's say our Ashley, loves spending money on everything, but really likes high-end mascaras. But here's the thing. The mascara bottles she buys are weighted.
Oh yeah, and
they are weighted and they're made of like aluminum on the outside. So it's when you pick it up, it's cool to the touch.
Yeah.
It's heavy. It's attractive rose color, right? When you bring out the wand, it's just like every other mascara. Right. But on the outside, it's like too pretty for you. Like the branding sounds, well, if I wear this, my eyes will like blow up in beauty, right?
Yeah.
But then I go to CoverGirl at the Target.
Uh-huh.
And that thing is plastic and feels like it's so light it could fly away. So in my head, when I'm holding, like Ashley gifted us
Right.
the Too Faced one, I think. And they had some CoverGirl one I saw on TikTok was supposed to make your eyes beautiful. But I'm holding the TikTok one, the CoverGirl one. It's so light.
And the branding there has established to you what is cheaper and what
It's a
feels more
plastic
valuable.
tube with like white printing on it. Like if you like take your nail and you go, it like goes away.
Yeah.
And then you got the Too Faced one. It's like engraved metal. Okay, neither of them are going to outlast each other. They're both mascaras. I opened them. Like they'll dry up tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
But that packaging on the Too Faced one. Okay, so I think the CoverGirl one, if I'm using the right thing, was around $7.
Probably.
$8 if I'm pushing it.
Yeah.
That Too Faced one is around $35. Corey. Corey. That's the same product on the inside. It's packaging that makes me, and I cannot break myself from the feeling that the Too Faced one, because it is more expensive, it must be better.
So what if the CoverGirl one was priced at $35?
Is it still plastic?
It's still plastic.
I will say that's a ripoff.
You would say that's a rip.
Rip. Yeah.
Because the packaging doesn't translate to the branding.
The packaging. I'm really, honestly, I'm not a mascara expert, right? I have no idea. Like maybe if it felt clumpy that day, I don't know.
Yeah.
But what I am is a packaging vibe expert. And if it makes me feel fancy, I'm going to spend more money on it.
Okay. So because we are selling luxury items, baked goods are luxury items. I don't care what you say. You can go and get that break apart Toll House thing at Walmart and make your own cookies. But if you're paying someone to make them for you, you are selling something luxury. I feel like your brand has got to translate that, and that comes to packaging. And the very last thing, before you even open the box to see the cookies, you are looking at the box I have packaged them in. I want the box I packaged them in to excite you about your order. It's the first thing you're seeing. It's the last thing that comes from my hands, goes into your hands. I want there to be some sort of excitement there. Like, if the box looks that good, just imagine what the
That's
cookies look like.
exactly. It must be better because of the way the packaging looks.
And packaging does not have to cost you a lot. There are places where you can buy in bulk. I personally, for cookies, love a window box so they can kind of peek in to see what they bought. And they can see that value as the box is handing it in their hands.
It
and
adds to the
car.
aesthetic.
And then I put little twine on it.
It adds to
twine
the
is,
aesthetic.
for some odd
Something
reason,
about twine
a
speaks to me on a
diamond
deeper
doesn't.
level.
I know, but it's so cheap.
Right.
And then I like to include a card, and I got this wax. What is those wax stamper things? You heat up the wax, you put it, you put a
oil
stamper
thing?
on there.
That's neat.
Yeah.
The wax melt thing.
Yes, and you just make a little. It's a bee. That's the brand. That has nothing to do with me or anything like that. But it feels valuable. It feels expensive. It feels that I can charge $55 a dozen and not be worried about it. It translates well to my potential customers who paid that price. So I want my brand to be decided by me. I want it to go from the first time we talk to the last thing you see. And what goes in my mind when I box something up is, if my client ran out of time before their party, could they
just
put my
say
box
good day?
out and not be embarrassed?
Absolutely. You know, like everyone gets the egg salad from the grocery store and then they put it in their own container and say, I made this.
Rip off that.
Here's a great here's the thing I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
Let's pretend I get a box for 6 cookies that allows there to be a lot of space between the cookies. But let's pretend I got a smaller box that bunched the cookies together. Which one feels like I got more for less?
The smaller box.
The smaller box, because I don't see that dead space. Dead space means, hey, hun, you could have bought more, but you're cheap and you didn't. So and then smaller boxes actually are cheaper. So you could do the strategy there is that packaging really does a number on raising your numbers.
I know. So then I put shred. Shred, if you buy it in the bulk, by the 10 pounds, it's fairly inexpensive. So I put the shred. It benefits me because my cookies stay okay longer in transport. But to them, they're like, oh my goodness.
Before everyone starts like a war, she's cellophaning wrapping them. She's not putting it directly on the shred. Put your pitchforks and scribes
Oh my
away.
goodness. People are like, I am emailing them right now.
What was that phone number?
571. But I do believe in nice packaging to go along with your branding. If you are charging luxury prices, which if you're listening to this podcast, you should be, then you need to make sure that your brand translates all the way to your packaging.
Absolutely. That's what allows Too Faced to charge $32 for something that should be probably $2 and then adding profit on the top.
Amen.
If just look at the things in your house and see if packaging is what sold you on it. There's a reason why Lexus puts those big bows on the
I
car.
was just going to say that. They had if you sold, you could elect to put on a bow on the customer's car. But 100% of the time, if the bow is on the car, they take a picture with the car.
Branding. Yeah.
Tagging
It's
you.
just taking this. So instead of discounting the car to get it sold, they added value to the purchase.
Right. Big old red bow.
Right. And it's just genius.
Right. And when we buy a Coach bag, we do like the Coach brand. It always comes wrapped in this silk bag.
Here's the thing. When I got a Coach discounted bag, guess what didn't come with? The silk bag on the outside. And everyone was like, oh. And then when they said, well, I was like, whoa. Of course I kept it because I loved it.
And you bought it on a discount knowing,
I
but
did.
they saved on cost to discount for
but
you.
It's funny because I was like, well, it was so super overpacked as well. So it was really nice.
Yeah.
But it was just funny how we're so conditioned to this high-end experience deserves high-end packaging.
I know. So if you want your branding to continue, if you want to be known as that luxury item, I would 100% consider investing in packaging. And it doesn't have to be crazy. There's even eco-friendly ones out there that are very pretty that I've seen. But check it out. I think Clearbags has them. You have BRP Box Shop.
There's a lot of options if you do a little
For
footwork.
bulk. And if you're like, hey, I don't have that many orders, I don't have that much room for bulk, Amazon sells it, and I know local bake shops sell it.
You can go to Joann's and get some yard of tinsel, twine, whatever, and then just save yourself some money there, but kind of add that value and keep your prices. Don't discount your prices because you discounted your packaging.
Right. I don't let my customers determine that for me because at the end of the day, the branding is me.
I don't think for edible arrangements you can ask them not to put it in a vase. Like it's not
I think
like
you can choose a worser vase.
right, but you still get their packaging.
Yeah.
They just make it smaller, but that's their brand. That's how they get away with charging the ungodly $150 for that bouquet I sent somebody the other day.
Yeah, Heather still buys them.
I love them. It's great.
She hates that she loves them.
I hate that I even like the way they taste.
But I definitely think branding is huge to invest into. If your clients are taking pictures of their thing, you want them to be proud of the box that they put it in so they can make it. And if they tag your business by chance and it's still in the box, more kudos to you. There's more value there.
Right. I don't see it lost. No. Yeah. So anyways, that is that. Now we're going to go to voicemails, but I'm actually going to read through texts because we have a little bit of a backlog, which I love. But after this, we won't. So feel free to keep texting.
Okay.
A 915 area code. Not a clue.
Not a clue.
She says, thank you for the podcast. It's helped me so much. I was wondering if your business is an LLC. Can you talk about the pros and cons? Also, do you have insurance for your cookie business? Here is the sticky situation about LLCs and insurance. It's going to be state specific, right? And it's going to be your cottage law is going to dictate a lot of stuff. So I can speak from a general thing, and I'm going to speak from you from things that I don't know. At the end of the day, your best bet is going to be contacting a lawyer if you want the LLC paperwork filed correctly, and contacting an insurance agent
To see what's covered, like flip insurance.
Right. Definitely don't think that just because you have State Farm will cover your house with a business out of it. And we'll talk about flip insurance in a second. But Corey and I are always working in a pair of two. So we always have an LLC because a sole proprietorship is a single person. But a lot of states, and it's state specific, have a disregarded entity of a single person LLC, which is still taxed like a sole proprietorship because you're just one person. So if you're asking, Corey and I are LLCs because we will always be LLCs because we are two people.
Because we're attached at the hip.
We do not live together, so I don't think we do. But as far as insurance, is insurance required? Odds are in your state, no, I don't think it's required here. I love insurance.
Heather will insure.
I'm overinsured. Man, somebody run into me and get your payout, buddy.
Heather also has a life insurance policy out on herself. So if you'd like to offer so I could get my take, that'd be great.
Yeah, so as far as insurance, somebody posted in the group the other day, hey, I asked State Farm if they make sure that they understand that I'm operating a cottage bakery out of my house, and they said absolutely we will not cover that.
Yeah.
And if that bakery causes your house to burn down, you will not be covered. And if somebody is hurt or leaving that house from picking up your cookies, so the option, Brooke Mills is in the group, she writes great posts on insurance,
and I think she's
an agent.
Yeah,
right. So she has, if you honestly just searched her name and read through that, it's going to blow your mind. But they recommend flip insurance, or find an independent agency who can shop around to see if they can find you an option.
Right.
Independent agents are different than captive agents. A captive agent can only give you State Farm. An independent agent can represent up to 13 to 15 companies and say, hey, they definitely said no, but this company said yes.
Yeah, Heather loves her an independent agent.
I have an independent agent, and I call him by his first name. So yeah, again, with the LLC thing,
Someone
talk with a lawyer.
a little bit random, and I know this does not have to do, did bring up a good point. They had put their business name on the side of their car, but a lot of insurance companies will not cover you if they find out that you were using your car as a business and you did not declare it to them.
Absolutely.
So definitely it would behoove every one of us to not
Just do a little footwork.
Yeah.
It's these agents. This is their job. A lot of them are free to ask questions with.
and they want to make you happy. They want you to continue to be clients, and they honestly want you covered so that you don't end up not being a client.
Yeah, so before you buy the giant magnet from Vistaprint, just maybe check in with your auto insurance provider and see if that's something that you can find a workaround. Again, Brooke Mills wasn't like, you idiot. She was like, ask them. And if it's better to switch your car for business use, do that.
Right.
See if they're doing it. Ask questions. No one's getting in trouble.
Yeah. But what we have learned, me and Heather, is, investing in a lawyer, investing in an accountant to help you set up these, to navigate it so you're not having to switch them around when you're in because you filed wrong,
Right.
Is worth the cost.
We're saying charge our worth. These, investing back in
they
your
are
business.
worth it.
This is what profit you take from your profit and invest it back in your business, a certain percentage.
Every time our CPA sends us the bill,
her emails.
every time she sends us the bill, we happily pay it because she saves us so much.
I don't know.
Just stress.
I don't know. Everything behind it, I hate. I hate everything. I hate everything that deals with
that part.
that. Okay, here is one. I'm just going to read it. Actually, I haven't read it ahead of time, so you ready, Freddie?
Yeah.
Hey, ladies, I'm a cottage baker and a full-time teacher. Thanks for the wonderful tips in the group. I am actually too booked to manage my schedule. Can you talk about how to take a step back in the marketing realm while still maintaining current clients and their needs?
We have no idea. We only market.
This is not what the group is about. Sugar cookie, not marketing.
No, Heather, I know you have an idea.
There's, again, a couple strategies about curtailing orders, right? So raising prices.
Some people are like, I'm at the top of my price.
Then
I've
you
already
need to
raised it 4 times this month.
Here's what Corey and I say. If you're booked, raising your prices is a strategy to curtail demand, right? So I would always say profit driven first. If I want to slow down orders, I'm going to add an extra $10.
And I wouldn't necessarily post that everywhere.
No.
I would just, if someone
Guys, I'm so successful, you'll be paying the price.
if someone emailed in and be like, hey, yeah, absolutely, it's going to be $65 a dozen. If they're like, oh, that was more than it was, hey, yeah.
I'd honestly, and I know this sounds like a fib, even though it isn't, it's contorting the truth, which also sounds like a lie.
It does sound like a lie.
But cost of ingredients have risen. For the
powdered
production
sugar,
line,
man.
right? So you would say, hey, let's some immovable object be the fall guy. Hey, yeah, I know the prices have increased, so has the cost of ingredients, and unfortunately, if I want to continue running this business, I gotta. But hey, if this doesn't work for you, no sweat,
Right, because
Hopefully
you
things can simmer
honestly
down.
are
Yeah.
booked anyways.
Yeah.
So raising your prices does curtail, and then when someone says, "Yeah, I'm willing to pay the $65 a dozen,"
It's worth
you're
more
now
of your
making more.
time. Yeah. How would you slow down an order if you were too booked?
Put an ant in a cookie.
Hey. There's a couple podcasts ago. There was a ant that may have been planted or may died a very terrible death. We do not know, but
If I wanted to, I always raise my prices. Is how I do it. So
it's still a marketing focused approach.
It is, and I'm willing. If someone's willing to pay me more, I'm willing to do it more. So if you wanted to, you can say, "Hey, A lot of people say, "Hey, we're booked up for August."
Right, and that's fine. But add in that. But hey, I'm taking orders for July.
Yes,
Or
So
I'm sorry,
then
September.
Heather's like, "We're taking orders."
I'm taking orders for January last year. But the concept is, so you could say, hey, I'm booked, but I'm now accepting orders for August. And upcoming holidays in August is Return to Teachers Day, blah, blah, blah
Return
day.
to teachers. That's someone who doesn't.
It's getting
have a
really
kid.
hot outside day.
Back to
Cicadas finally died day. But give them the idea to plan ahead,
Yes.
and let them. So place your order today because my calendar, and I love saying this, my calendar fills up about 4 weeks in advance. Having that little disclaimer puts in that sense of urgency for people, but allows you to really maintain the flow of orders.
Yeah, and then you have your funnel built. You have your client base built for months, 2 months, 3 months out.
That'd be ideal. So being too booked just means your strategy shifts to being too far booked out.
Yes.
And then once you reach that problem, then Boo Bear and you raised your prices, then I think you're going to have to come and join us here and start telling us how you did it.
So I do want to actually talk about that last part.
Okay.
a lot of people are like, oh my goodness, I've raised my prices. I'm $1 million per dozen and I'm booked out till 2025.
I will be buying an island, so I need to let them know.
Here's the thing. You are marketing and sales were successful. It is now time to grow your business and to hire somebody on.
Absolutely.
But no, it's my touch. I'm sorry, honey. You're growing. They want you. You're going to have to bring people on.
Good.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. So your next step is either hiring help or looking at that storefront.
Yeah. And that's honestly the goal. It's scary. It's a scary goal. People usually who are in business by themselves like to have their hands in everything. But if you are at that point of growth where then you're going to have to turn away people and they're going to find a new cookie person, or you bring somebody on, you pay them fairly, you've priced fairly.
And it's your intermediate step into that storefront bakery.
Yeah. And someone's like, no, I need to be making the cookies. Then hire you a social media person.
There you go. Yeah, that's exactly it. At some point, if you have too many orders, too much profit, too many islands, start looking about. And the way I kind of do it, I look at my business, kind of our day job, and I say, hey, where am I dropping the ball? Like, what's something, if I paid somebody else to do it, would make my life better?
Well, from the bill we got, it was definitely content creation because that guy charged you an arm away.
Yeah, and I said, could I write my own copy? Absolutely. Do I want to write my copy? No. Do I have the margin so that I can hire somebody else to do it? Yes, his turnaround times are faster, better, stronger, whatever you want to say. So that was worth it to me to hire him for that.
My heart still hurts about
You
that.
found him, so I don't know why you introduced us.
Because he got me with...
Me and Evan are a match made in lazy Evan.
All right, so that was a great one, too. We have one more.
Okay, let me see. Scrolling around here. Hi, twins. What heat seal works best? A link would be great. I know how much you love these questions. Now for my actual question. I've been asking for reviews for Google page, and I'm getting them in. I've been responding to them all, but should I also go respond to 5-star reviews with no write-up? I know you talked about responding to low-star reviews even without a write-up, but I'm not sure if I should for a good review. Thanks. I love this question.
I'll let you take it.
Okay, so when queso. Oh, baby, low baby. So when you get a review, I would say 100% of them should be responded to. 5-star. So what she's saying is there's an ability to just leave 5 stars with no writing. So we call it a rating.
Yes.
A 5-star rating. The 5-star review would be the rating with the copy, the text under it, and then the 1-star reviews with the curse words would be the other the other side. When you get a 5-star rating, here's like my go-to copy, because we do work with a bunch of clients and I do have to reply to these a lot. Hey, Marcus, thank you so much for that rating. It is so great to know that we're doing our job well. We appreciate your patronage. Please come by anytime. We have some new specials going on. Looking forward to seeing you.
Yeah, absolutely. So what you're just telling people is you are attentive to every single person, the good reviews, the bad reviews, the wordless reviews, that you are making sure everyone is taken care of. Like this business owner is there.
Again, it's still written not for the guy who, I'm sure the guy who left you the 5-star rating is like, great. Cool. But this is written for the people in the future. And what I see when I see every review responded to, and not just a copy and paste, like something unique, it really says to me like this person cares. Here's the wild card. Let's talk about SEO a bit. Reviews.
Everyone just glossed over.
In reviews, there's more to reviews than just the star rating. That's the ideal part. But now reviews are actually factored into ranking your Google My Business page.
Right.
So I love to tell clients, if you just give me a little write-up about what you ordered and how you liked it, that would be great, because the odds are they're going to use sugar cookies. And then when someone says Google's sugar cookies near me, Google is going to pull in that review and says, review mentions sugar cookies.
Yes.
Okay. So so even in my replies, I don't know that replies actually have any effect on ranking, but I'm not going to say they don't, right? It's just not pulling in keywords. But I would say, hey, we have a bunch of specials on our sugar cookies, or we have, we're trying some new flavors with our sugar cookies. I would include that at any chance I got. And if anything, it matches your reviews back up to your description.
Right. So bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada 5-star.
Okay, everyone, you can tune back in.
Okay,
She's done with the SEO talk.
Is your kid asleep? You're welcome. I'm Lunesta for your ears.
All right, so if you would like to call in or text in, we swear we will not respond. It is 571-556-5644. We love any comments. You want to just tell Corey she's your favorite. Heather needs to step her game up. Absolutely send those in. Again, That's 571-556-5644.
Okay, that's great. So group stuff, since we just filmed this 2 seconds ago, nothing's changed.
But we are working on a packaging live.
That would be wonderful to segue from your
Packaging
live. Yeah, so again, like, you know what? Call to action here. The people who have done group lives are people in the group. They're not experts that we've sourced from other people.
Honestly, people who've been there
And
done
had
that.
some success with
Yeah.
it. And all they really cover is what they've learned, what they wish they knew, and how they did it.
Yeah.
So if you have some concept from packaging to, hey, I love the pop-ups. There can never be enough pop-up lives.
Right.
If you want to do pop-ups, pre-sales, if we have the packaging one, what are some other things we would love for people to volunteer?
Farmers markets are a big one, which would
that's
be
a great
awesome.
one.
Yeah, especially because now
I would
we're in
love somebody to
farmers
do
markets.
weddings, how they got into weddings.
How they got wedding clientele. I know.
Yeah,
that's
I'd love a
big one.
corporate, somebody who does mostly corporate orders.
Yeah.
That would be great to understand how and what and how they manage.
And even
inventory.
if you've seen a live that's been done, if you know the algorithms, you know no one's saying it. So
Here's the thing: Christy did a live on pop-ups. It was really good.
yeah,
But then Gina said, well, I am actually live in a completely different area and have no social media following. Can I do one on how to do it with no social media
and
following?
she had one for gluten free, and then Wheezy. What was the nickname you gave her?
Word of mouth Wheezy. Oh, it was Word of mouth Wheezy. Gina
Yeah,
did it
sorry.
wrong. Yeah, Word of mouth Wheezy was that nobody knows me.
Yeah.
Gina was
I
like,
have a specialty in two
and then,
locations. one.
so everyone was like, okay, but I live in rural, and Jess Clapper was like, I got you. I live in a rural area, and I'm gonna show you how to sell
Yeah,
out. So
if
your perspective is unique.
And if you've done one for the first time, honestly, I would love someone who did one for the first time because you have the perspective of someone, hey, I tried this. This was a flop. This was amazing. I sold out on these. These didn't
Yeah,
sell so
give
well.
me your war stories. It's something we can all learn from,
Yeah.
like if we're timid about it. And cool tools. Like I know that we talk about marketing questions, but that doesn't mean that the lives have to be on marketing.
Heather did one about Meet Edgar.
Yeah, so I do one on software. Elizabeth did one on the Eddie printer.
You did the Popple too.
I did the Popple. So, things, software that you use. And dare I say, if you wanted to teach us, Corey, how to use the dehydrator and talk about your weird lining things, it's just something to show people how to be more efficient to save that time.
Unfortunately, that means I have to take a shower.
Oh, man, that'll never
Take some
happen.
planning.
So, yeah, if you'd like to volunteer to do a Facebook Live, that'd be awesome. We can usually space it a month out from when you raise your hand so you can start sweating long term.
Yeah.
Just message the Sugar Cookie Marketing page.
Or you can send an email to hello@sugarcookiemarketing.com.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I knew Courtney did one on how to post to Instagram.
Yeah, anything really that you've seen that's a strategy that works.
Susan did one on how to film Instagram decorating videos.
Yeah, and reels and everything
Yeah.
like that was amazing. And she told you all the goodies she bought off Amazon, her links, everything like that.
They've all,
Her notes,
everyone's provided so much value.
You know. Okay, so that is for upcoming lives. Hopefully, we'll be able to put you on the list. Past lives, we did nailing commercial orders with the Eddie printer from Elizabeth. She did fantastic.
Vanessa covered logo best practices and branding best practices. Everyone's like, what should be my name? And she's like, that's not what I do, but we can weigh in on it. That was a great one. Courtney did the Instagram live, and we've had so many great ones. I loved the Jennifer Groh did on email marketing.
You didn't love mine about classes?
Yours is good. I did it with you. Nobody liked mine on Meet Edgar at all.
Papa who?
Then we did one on the Eddie printer, printing on shapes
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
with saturated images. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's just a great way to help the community back out.
Yeah, if you feel like you want to give, if you've gotten something from the group and you feel like you want to give back, we'd
That's
really
a great way to
appreciate
do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, I did not plan out my Twinterest. What is your Twinterest?
Crapioli. We just filmed this 2 seconds ago. I don't know. Oh, baby, low, baby. I'm just kidding. If I would say my interest is, I'm really interested in CookieCon, which by the time they're listening to this, it's the week after. So I'm not sure if
So-
tickets are sold out or not.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Yeah, it seems really interesting. I like how Mike and Karen price it at $399, not $400. And he says, yeah, a lot of people tell us this is really expensive. You're looking at the weekend, you're looking around $2,000 between airfare,
Hotel
Rooms.
stay.
food, the ticket itself.
Everything
and
you're
then
about to
apparently
spend
there's
at
a
the
lot of
winter
things you can buy there. So $1,500, $2,000. We're talking Eddie prices at this point. But you're investing back into your business. But you know what? Mike didn't discount the ticket when people said, this is expensive. What he said is, I've added so much value, it's worth it.
Yeah, they have the room of free decorating. You have your master classes, you have your add-on classes, you have your electives, you have like this like community you leave with your new best friend.
Right. So it's pretty amazing that they took the approach that we kind of preach in the group is add more value, make more money.
Yes.
Don't add less value and make less money, and don't add more value and make less money, which is a lot of people,
Yeah.
They've added value and they sell out so fast. This is our first year attending, but what we've heard is that it sells out in the first couple of hours.
And then people get on this wait list.
Right. So could Mike raise prices further?
He absolutely couldn't. He probably sell out.
Right. Eventually he'll reach a price point where he won't sell out, but he'll be making so much more profit.
That he only needs half the people to show.
Right. So in his mind, $400, which is not cheap, but it is fair for everybody. And they provide a lot of value from what I heard, and I'm excited to go. Did you come up with your twin
I
twist?
finally did.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so did I ever talk about the dehumidifier?
Literally in the last podcast.
No, that
we
was a
found this-
dehydrator.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what they are.
Okay, dehumidifier takes the humidity out of the air. So it literally sucks in the moisture, puts it in the little thing. So if you ever have icing bleeding, we live in the DC area. It's basically a swamp. This would be great, especially for these heated, hot days where it's been raining a long time. But dehumidifier, I get it going before I do my cookies. I come in a couple hours later. The room feels dry like Arizona heat, I can only imagine. So if you were thinking like, oh, cookie bleeding is literally making my eyes bleed, maybe a dehumidifier is for you. You can find them on
Corey
Amazon.
has launched a full-scale attack on moisture in her house.
I went to cry nothing.
Water has nothing on Corey.
Nothing in my
literally-
kidneys, nothing in the air.
Yeah, she refuses to drink it, refuses to deal with it. So that's a good one. And then back to our sponsors, which everyone know is Mr. Edward,
The best boyfriend you've ever
Oh,
had.
yeah. Eddie's pretty cool. So what tips could we give? Here's some things that I've heard people talk about.
Well, today we actually printed 4 dozen, and I
did.
put cornstarch on there because that's supposed to help with the
bleeding.
humidifier.
So Eddie company, Primera, sends you some blank cookies to test on. They were not delicious. I'm going to be honest. I did not like them.
Also nutritious.
So you're not winning even when you're losing. So it's because their cookie recipe is really dry. And they even give you the icing for the icing mix, right? But if you wanted to use your own, Corey's got a lot of moisture in her cookies, which is why she launches a full-scale attack on moisture for that. And they taste better, right? So the thing is, when you add moisture and you add ink, you get color bleed. So what people were saying is like, I printed these off and I put them into a bag and this happened. And the solution seems to be let them dry for enough time. Don't do this last minute. Don't do this in seconds and throw them into a bag.
Right.
Add the cornstarch thing. And then there's a bunch of cool things that the group talks about.
They were
Printing-
saying like using a heat gun to dry the ink right on there. Right now we have them sitting under some cornstarch and we're giving them enough dry time. It is very humid today in Northern Virginia.
Yeah.
So even extra dry time. I just made the cookies yesterday. I iced them yesterday, dehydrated them, dehumidified them. So there's a lot. I wanted fresh cookies, but I also want to have enough dry time before we bag.
Yeah, and someone said in the group, like, this is unfair that, Eddie fixed it. Like, no, it's we live in a swamp.
Yeah.
Humidity was a problem before Eddie showed up. Color bleed is always plagued Corey. So the thing is finding the unique mix of components that work best for you. And that's with every problem in life. To assume that Primera can come into our houses and give us free HVAC systems is going to be what I'm asking for next.
But I will say, if you are interested in the Eddie, and I mean, someone printed on a Tic Tac, someone printed it on a Dorito chip in the group. They have a group. So
you know what's something really cool they wrote in the group?
Yeah.
Someone's like, I'm not going to buy this because I fear color bleed. And they're like, well, send us your cookies. We'll print them for you.
I thought that was
We'll send them back
genius.
to you so you can see how it does.
Let me just find the name of the group, because if you have questions, me and Heather are not professionals at
No,
it.
I accidentally said like I disassembled him and put him in the
people are
closet.
like,
And people
"Oh,
were like, don't
sorry,
put Eddie in a corner.
Don't put my baby in a corner. Okay, the group is called Eddie, the Edible Ink Printer User Group. So if you wanted to see people using the Eddie, they have videos, they have people troubleshooting, they have pros and cons. You can just get in there. People are even doing pricing strategy. So there you go. All right.
That's great. So Eddie is a sponsor. Again, not cheap, $2,800, right? Mm-hmm. But neither is CookieCon.
Right.
But it's worth the investment. And the thing is, like we say, don't drop your prices. Cover Eddie, and so that he can be this like huge moneymaker for you. I do not think He's going to upend the cookie industry.
I don't think so.
But guys, thanks for listening in. Right now, we're probably at Disney. I probably have a giant turkey leg in my hand. Corey probably has a slushie in hers, yelling at Archer for some reason, and my little sister is probably posing for Instagram photos.
Yeah, so wish us luck.
Yeah, but we'll still delete your deeds. Okay, bye guys.